Alfa has spent many years being messed about by successive managements, everyone with different half-cooked ideas, then quite a few more. Recently it has had its better-known values attached to B and C segment hatchbacks, because that is where the money is, and have yielded enough success for Alfa to continue developing and creating the Giulia, followed by the announcement the first Alfa SUV is on the horizon. This is the 4C's mission, and it is why it is so very significant. Nothing about the fixed-head, two-seat 4C better underscores its seriousness than the fact that its chassis is an extremely rigid carbon fiber tub weighing just 65 kilograms. This featherweight foundation, plus Alfa's use of a new 22 kilograms lighter, all-aluminium, direct-injection 4-cylinder 1750 turbo engine, mean that, parked in the street ready to go, a 4C weighs just 925 kilograms. Given that the engine produces 240 bhp at 6,000 revolutions per minute, plus 258 pounds-foot of torque between 2,100 revolutions per minute and 4,000 revolutions per minute, its power-to-weight ratio of 259 bhp per ton is really something to crow about, matching that of many big-capacity supercars at more than twice the price and power. Small wonder that the Alfa Romeo 4C can top 155 miles per hour and sprint 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds, while returning an impressive 41.5 miles per gallon on the combined cycle. As our figures show, even the newly turbocharged Porsche Cayman costs a bit less and goes a bit faster, but doesn't accelerate as quickly and uses more fuel doing it. More notably, the carbon tub puts the 4C on a level with the likes of McLaren and Ferrari, yet the 4C will set you back just 52,500 pounds when supplies start to flow at a rate of 3,500 units a year before the year end. Don't get your hopes up, mind. Only 1,000 cars a year are earmarked for Europe, and about 200 of those for the UK. All 500 examples of the all-white launch edition sold out quickly, and Britain's allocation of regular models were reserved with very little hesitation. Still, if you can't buy yourself a 4C for a while, you can at least admire its specification. It is a very compact coupe with the transverse mid-engine layout, carrying 60% of its weight over its driven rear wheels. It has a standard 6-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox with paddle shifters. The all-disc brakes are by Brembo. The discs are specially coated to improve both initial bite and feel. In 2015, Alfa went one better by cutting the roof off of the 4C, giving it an all-new alluring appeal. The unique shape, created at Alfa's Turin-based Central style, has been refined over many hours in the wind tunnel so that it has both negative lift at speed and a CD of 0.35, a low figure considering downforce creates drag. Afterwards, someone starts the engine for the first time and drives the 4C up the road. You hear that potent exhaust bark, who says legal exhausts can't still inspire? And the dramatic wastegate chirp and chatter as the ignition cuts at the first gear change. That part is reminiscent of a current 1.6-liter rally car, also turbocharged, small-engined and very potent. Spend a day with the 4C as we did and you will end up deciding it's an individual that draws influence from whatever's good, especially if it's Italian, without owing too much to anyone. More surprises inside. The driver's door opens to reveal a considerably higher sill than most cars, although not as obstructive as a Lotus X Siges, and made of carbon fiber, not extruded aluminium. The second is the simple, almost competition car aura of the interior, matte black everywhere and hard plastic on the dash, yet right for this car, from which driving purists can delete the aircon and audio. The doors have simple leather pull handles reminiscent of those in revered, stripped-out Porsche 911s of yore, and the floor covering is durable, not luxurious. This may not be quite what you were expecting, but it's right for a car whose big objective is low weight. There are wallet-like slots under the dash and between the seats for carrying things, plus a couple of the inevitable cup holders safely out of the view under your elbow, but this cabin is built for simplicity, not convenience. As you would expect for any lightweight stripped-out sports car, the amount of equipment is at a premium, with the exterior gaining LED headlights, electric wing mirrors, while the interior has air conditioning, basic audio system and height-adjustable drivers and passenger seats. A TFT screen ahead carries a large electronic touch-out dial surrounded by essential info, speed, gear position, temp, fuel and incongruously day and date. This whole display changes shape and color when you select the new 4C race position on the familiar DNA quadrant on the low center console that lets you configure throttle response, gear change time and degree of chassis stability intrusion from 4 settings. All you need do to start the engine is to put your foot on the brake. There are only 2 pedals, remember, plus an alloy face rest for your redundant clutch foot, and twist the key. No hunting around the cockpit for starter buttons or posting plastic bricks into slots. Twist, and with no ceremony, no dashboard messages and no crowd-pleasing blip, the 4C's engine fires promptly and settles immediately into a typically 4-cylinder idle. In a way, it's a bit shocking. There seems little soundproofing to speak of. You can hear the valve gear rustling away at close quarters in a way most manufacturers wouldn't allow. But why not? This is a brand new Alfa engine, after all, and on a horsepower-liter basis it roundly beats some of the greatest race engines ever built. Blip the engine and it barks instantly and gruffly, as if fed by a pair of double Webers. Sounds like fun. Reach down onto the abbreviated center console and select the 1 button that hooks up first gear and dictates that you'll need to change gears yourself via paddles. You could have chosen A/M, but that would have been self-shift mode. Apply a little throttle and the car moves off instantly, like an Elise or an Atom. Here's how you can know instantly, without the assistance of a weighbridge, that the Alfa Romeo 4C is a light car. First is noisy and short, but the thrust is mighty. You need to be respectably quick on the right paddle because you will close fast on the 6,500 revolutions per minute red line. The following gear change itself is quick and smooth, mechanically speaking, and speeds up 30% in dynamic or race, but the way the clutch system matches revs with speed is always exemplary. If you're expecting instantaneous, Ferrari-style controlled explosions as the cogs swap, you're not going to get them. Performance and flexibility are this powertrain's forte. The exhaust note can be raucous and the combined racket of ignition cut and wastegate whoop when you change gear is never peaceful, always inspiring. From outside, the car sounds amazing. From inside, the quality's not quite the same, though it would always entertain me. Used to the full, the car feels properly quick, especially between 60 and 100 miles per hour where it seems to gain pace as rapidly as much bigger cars but without their big cube effort. The engine's thrust doesn't grow beyond 5,500 revolutions per minute with quite the top end shove you expect, but the truth is that in dynamic or race, using plenty of throttle and changing at 5,500 revolutions per minute, you'll be among the fastest cars on road or track. Passing maneuvers are special fun, because the car is compact and gains speed with so little effort. So is slingshotting out of slow bends. There's strong urge from 2,000 revolutions per minute, which means almost any gear will do. And the noise is always great. In countries like the UK, the 4C might seem a mite overgeared. It is close to 30 miles per hour per 1,000 revolutions per minute in top. Fortunately, it has the torque to carry it, and you can understand why Alfa has gone down that route. The car would be more frantic with ratios closed up by lower overall gearing. This is one of those cars that doesn't need huge rubber hoops to deliver grip, although our test car was admittedly on the optional tire pack, 205/40 ZR18s in front and 235/35 ZR19s on the back. The standard wheels are 17 in front, 18 in rear. On whichever, this light car and its fancy Brembo brakes can stop from 100 km per hour in just 35 meters, a performance that eludes any heavy supercar. The unassisted steering takes some getting used to, but becomes one of the 4C's principal virtues. At standstill, you have to relearn the experience of supplying muscle. It feels weird. But at 2 miles per hour and all speed thereafter it's fine. It loads more than power assist systems as cornering speeds rise, but you feel much more of the road.